when you're in the treatment experience, and I had this experience myself, and I see this experience all the time, when you're in the treatment experience, you feel so close to these people. Like, the intimacy is so intense that you're convinced these are going to be lifelong bonds. But inevitably, they are not. And when you step outside of this experience, the further it gets in the rearview mirror, the more that intimacy and intensity tends to fall away. And it's hard to persuade people of that when they're in it. So the parallel that I always like to give them is, if you ever watch the show Survivor, that group of people are together and everything between them seems so intense. But when you step away from that experience, you go back to real life and you realize that the significance that these particular individuals had to you is relative. It was relative to where you were and the work you were doing at that time, and the bottom line is that a lot of people come from different places. 42% of the people that we treat even come from this local area. They come from all over. And you didn't know these people before you came here, and just because you shared this experience doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to form a lifelong friendship. It was necessary, and the intimacy was therapeutic. But when we're talking about cancer, and you've had cancer and I've had cancer, we feel very close because we're here dealing with our cancer. But once we've sort of dealt with cancer and we step away, we realize that we have less in common when we're not just dealing with our cancer, right? So what binds us, what brings us together is a shared disease or a shared condition or problem, and it's very it seems to define us while we're here. But when we leave, we become more defined by the lives that we create for ourselves and our family and friends and our work and our activities, and that the intensity of that connection on the basis of a single condition becomes less and less. It's like, how close were you to the people in grade school? How close were you to your, fifth grade soccer team? How close were you to the group that you worked with in university? Or when you're in a job and you're like all about that job and you can't imagine, peer about the people and the work and the community of practice, and then you switch jobs and you're like, oh, we're still going to be friends. Are you? Maybe there's one or two of those people that you meet that end up going along. But those people are very much defined by it's very relational. It's relational. And when you move on to something else and that relationality goes away, sometimes the friendships do share.
If you or a loved one are looking for help with substance abuse, call our 24/7 helpline at 1-800-615-1067. A caring addiction advisor is awaiting your call.